Hello everyone, my name is Stephen Murray and welcome to The Gift of Giving. This program focuses on Nevada nonprofits, foundations, 501c3s, for those of you who are tuning in for the first time. These are the angels who are making a difference in our state and making it better for all of us. And this week I'm very, very proud to welcome Jean Payton. She's the Executive Director of Blind Connect. Thanks for joining us, Jean. Welcome to the program.
Thank you, Steve. I'm glad to be here.
We're very pleased to have you. A few weeks ago, we had on Maribel from Nevada Blind Children. So it's nice to have you on with Blind Connect because you deal with adults in your program. So why don't you give us a brief overview of the organization and when it was founded?
I'd be happy to. We were founded in 1998. And it came about, the organization came about because a bunch of us blind folks here in Nevada were having difficulty finding available services. And we realized that we needed to have a central location where blind individuals could contact us and we could put them in touch with available services. And so we began our organization as pretty much an information and referral organization, but with the peer support part of it, so that we could reach out to the blindness community and provide some assistance, some FaceTime with one another just to understand more about our vision loss and that kind of thing. So we have morphed from that into a very different organization where we're the only training program for blind individuals that's in the state of Nevada. We provide daily living skills training, orientation and mobility training, which are key to independence. And we also have several different programs that we work with the state of Nevada, who does provide training, but only for people going back to work. Our programs are open to anyone who is legally blind who wants to become more independent.
Wow. That's quite some transition from where you first started out to where you've got now in what you said, 1998. So that's been around 25 years.
Right.
You've morphed and really developed this organization. And we're going to talk about some of those skills later in the program because it sounds like they're very interesting and very, very fascinating. And was it, what was it that made you actually get involved in this organization? Was it because you wanted to do something for the blind community?
I wanted to get in. I actually went to a program that was run by Clark County government about community involvement. And as a result of that, I established this little project to have an organization that would serve blind people because I'm a blind person myself, and when I moved here I couldn't find services. I didn't know who to call, how to reach out to anyone, and it was quite a time just figuring that system out. And once I figured it out, I said, boy, I need to be sharing this information. And so I gathered a few other blind folks and we started the organization. There were 5 of us that were together at the very beginning, and we all worked really hard to get to going. And then we did have an incident where one of our board members had been blind since birth, and in one eye, and she was losing vision in her other eye. And during that period of time, her family could not find any training opportunities in Nevada that met her needs, and so they were going to send her to a school in Louisiana where she would be for 9 months without family, friends, support system, anything, but she'd learn to be blind. And so just before she left, her name was Angela. Angela took her life. She just could not leave everything and go away. And her family reached out to us almost immediately and said, you know, we can't have this happen again to anyone in Nevada. And so we worked very closely with them for almost 8 years to get from where we were to get to Angela's house being
Yes.
open and operating at a high level. And it is Angela's house is Angela Hoffman's legacy.
Wow.
She was a wonderful person, and it just was a shame that happened.
It was. But what a legacy she's left behind, Angela's house.
Yes, indeed.
There's Angela's house and Betty's village, and we'll talk about Angela's house in detail in the next segment of this program, because that is the thrust or bulk of where your work is, or your training facilities are. So I'm very sorry about your friend Angela. I was not aware that you're one of the co-founders, though, Jean.
Yes, I am.
Wow.
I was.
So you've been with it 25 years since inception.
Yes, indeed. I was
Boy.
the one that did that 501c3 application. I will never forget it.
Well, maybe that's something you could do in your spare time, file 501c3s for people.
That's right.
So now, is it Betty's Village or the Regional Transportation Commission? How did you connect with them? Because they're providing the space for this, are they not?
The regional transportation system is, and what happened was that I've been quite active in transportation since I moved here from Maryland. And so I was actually out at lunch with a couple of friends that worked at RTC, and they were telling me that the RTC had gotten this grant from the Federal Transit Authority to build this building that would be a training facility for transit. And I said, oh, wow, we're doing those kinds of things, we're doing trainings, and is there any possibility we could get involved? And I was invited to meet with the then general manager, Tina Quigley, presented our idea about Angela's house to her, and she kind of took it by the horns, and we are the only nonprofit that is housed in a public transit facility in the country.
Wow.
So
that's a unique distinction.
It is, and we had a lot of nonprofits come and visit us to find out how we made it happen.
I'll bet.
And the facility is just a wonderful, wonderful one. It's a 14,000 square foot building that's got 2 retired city buses in it. It has a streetscape. It has the 1,270 foot square Angela's house facility, offices. It's just a wonderful place.
It sounds like it, and we're going to be talking about more about that in the next section. But just before we wrap up the first part, I'd like to talk a little bit about Betty's Village, and I know that's in partnership with Opportunity Village, and I recognize it's on hiatus right now, but you do have some future plans for Betty's Village, is that correct?
Absolutely. Betty's Village was one of those things that came up just at the right time when the need was there, and what happened was that this is a residential area that's adjacent to Betty's Village, to the Ingolstadt part of Opportunity Village, and they had a 4-bedroom apartment that they were looking to rent, and to have someone in there to program it if it wasn't going to be rented out to people just living in it. And so we were able to strike a deal with Opportunity Village to actually rent this facility, and we equipped it and staffed it. And the reason that we took advantage of this was that we really wanted to serve rural and northern Nevada, which we were not serving because we're in southern Nevada.
Sure.
And so we could bring people in. They had to be referred by the state, by State Department of Employment, Training, and Rehabilitation. And then they would come in and they would spend anywhere from 3 months to 6 months. on-site learning. They would also come over to to the Angela's House program and get additional training there. And we have a career program that we do at Betty's Village that they would get training there. So they got quite a thorough introduction to being blind.
They sure did. Sure did. So, well, we're going to talk again, as I said, about Angela's House when we come back. We're just going to take a little brief sponsorship break, and we'll be right back. I'd like to thank Pacific Coast Capital. If you're out there looking for a small business loan, please listen to this sponsorship message.
Introducing Pacific Coast Capital, your partner in finance. We provide financing for your business. Speed, flexibility, and creativity are the foundation of our service. We'll help you navigate through change and opportunities. Our 90-plus years of experience ensures quick turnaround on loan decisions. Ride the wave to prosperity with us. Ready for new funding? Visit our website today at pacificcoastcap.com.
I started my career in financial services during the Great Recession, one of the worst markets we've ever been through. That challenging period was full of uncertainty, but every challenging period has its opportunities. Investing should never be like gambling. Your financial future is far more important. No one knows what the future holds, but here at Lucia Capital Group, our bucket strategy can help you prepare for whatever lies ahead. I'm Joshua Dowden. I've been working with clients for more than 16 years, and I can help you as well. My office is right here in the heart of Summerlin, just north of Charleston Boulevard. Don't let the stock market determine the quality of your retirement. Call me today for a free consultation at 702-508-6421. That's 702-508-6421.
And I'd like to thank Joshua Dowden, also from the Lucia Capital Group. If you're looking for a 401k or start one with your corporation, Josh Dowden's the person to reach out to. And we'd like to welcome back Jean Payton from Blind Connect. Thank you again for being with us today.
Thank you.
So let's talk about the main function of Blind Connect, Angela's House. And you mentioned that it's a 14,000 square foot facility or center. And you said it's like a movie set with streets and buildings and simulated buses that travel. That sounds. How big is the actual Angela's House itself?
The facility that we program in is actually 1,270 square feet. Okay. And so it's the size of an average one-bedroom apartment or two-bedroom. And what it includes is the reason we wanted to be in that kind of a facility is that we wanted to train in a location where people could easily transfer the skills they learn in the kitchen or in the computer room or wherever into their own homes. And so this is like someone's home. We have a living room, a dining room, a fully equipped kitchen. We have a clothes washer and dryer. We have a bathroom. We have a computer room, and we had a bedroom that we ended up changing into a braille room and a room just for other activities because we were running out of space.
Wow.
And so, again, we're kind of a program that's just continuing to grow and trying to make adjustments to meet the needs. There are far, far more blind people now in Nevada than there were when we started Blind Connect in 1998. Many of them older folks who have come here to retire and then lose usable vision. And so we're dealing with a lot more individuals, and we needed more space. But this 1,270 square feet is within this huge building that does have the streetscape, and we use that for training purposes using canes, white canes. We use it for the mobility training. We use the buses that are in there for training people to ride the city bus. And so we take advantage of the facility as a whole.
Absolutely. Yes, you certainly make lemonade out of lemons, that's for sure. Now, how many people are in the program at any one time, and how long is is the actual program itself?
All right. It is 90 hours of blindness skills training, and we meet 3 days a week, Monday, Wednesday, Thursday, from 9 to 3 for 6 weeks. That's a session, and the maximum we can take in a session is 6 individuals. And the reason for that is twofold. One is that we really do want a lot of one-on-one with our participants.
Sure.
And so we staff up in order to do that. And also, when you staff up, we only have 1,270 square feet, so it gets a little tight.
Well, especially when you've got all those rooms. I didn't know how you got all those rooms into 1,270. You know, when you say a kitchen, a braille room, and a living room, and all the other rooms. Now, do the participants themselves, did they determine the activities, or do you say this day we're going to do this, we're going to do cooking, we're going to make cupcakes or whatever?
We have a set curriculum that was established way back when we started our training programs back in 2014. And it was established by a recreation therapist from the University of Northern Illinois. And so we've used that curriculum and we've updated it and changed it a little bit, but we have a set curriculum, and we assure people that they're going to get so many hours of training. Like the one that I really remember is 18 hours of O&M, orientation and mobility. That's the learning to use a cane and to travel confidently with a cane. And that's the biggest indicator of independence, is being able to travel independently. And so that's what people really, really want. We do a lot of work in the kitchen. And then we also have other things. Our program is really, it includes daily living skills, orientation and mobility, assistive technology. Then we have coping and adjustment, which is a huge thing. When you lose usable vision, it's a severe loss.
Yes.
And so there's oftentimes people with some real need to be able to verbalize what's going on and to hear from other people how they've been dealing with it. So we have coping and adjustment, personal care, we do advocacy. We have a lot of talk about the Americans with Disabilities Act, which is a civil rights act for people with disabilities, and we want people to understand their rights and their responsibilities under that act. And then we are a Braille group. So we believe that Braille literacy is really important for individuals, many of whom were readers before they lost their vision. Now we want them to be able to read in a different way.
Sure.
So we do a heavy dose of Braille.
It all sounds very, very worthwhile. But we all learn at different levels too. You know, some people are quick learners and others aren't. If people don't grasp it during their first time, can they sign up and come back again? Or once they've been through it, you make the best of what you've got?
It really depends on the individuals, quite frankly, but we can take people back during times that we're not in a session, just if they need a little pick-me-up and a little bit more help on certain things. However, if someone comes through our program and then has a substantial additional loss of vision, we will bring them back. Because though we try and train individuals under learning shades, so that they can gain confidence in doing things without having usable vision. Many people are not comfortable doing that, and so if they leave without having become comfortable with doing things with minimal vision, then they have to come back and figure that out again. So we bring them back because that's really what we need to do, is make people as comfortable and as independent as they can be.
As possible, for sure. Now, Do you have volunteers, or is it a paid staff that actually works with these individuals in Angela's house?
We are primarily paid staff.
Yes.
And the reason for that is that we really, we need to have some consistency
Yes.
from session to session, and we have a really good team going right now. And we will be doing sessions. We do a 6-week session, a week off, a 6-week session, a week off. So it's really, it's pretty much full-time, part-time.
Yes, it is. Yes. I was going to ask you how often you have the 6-week sessions. So it's basically within 2 months you're starting over again. And
We
now,
are.
do you have a waiting list?
We do. We
Wow.
have a unfortunately too big a waiting list.
Yeah.
But what we do is that we always start at the top of our waiting list, and we give individuals 3 no's, and then they move to the bottom of the list. So we
Okay.
can call them and say, you know, we have an opening, your name is up, and you know, some people go on vacation, people have commitments that they have to follow up on, and that kind of thing. So sometimes they're just not ready.
No.
You know, they're on that list, but they're not ready. But we can't continue to offer the same positions to the same folks
No.
over and over and over.
Yes,
So
and-
what we
yeah.
try and do is give you 3 no's, we put you to the bottom of the list, and then we just go through that list in order until we fill our session.
I'd like to talk a little bit more about that when we come back. We're going to take another brief pause for a message from our next sponsor, and if you're interested in having a special event or a night out on the town, it doesn't get any better than the Firelight Barn Dinner Theatre. Please listen to the message.
Country roads take me home to the place where I belong, West Virginia, Mountain Mama. Comes a triple yodel, I-de-yodel-ay, oh,
Welcome back, everyone, and welcome back, Jean Payton, our guest today from Blind Connect. And we were talking about the number of people in a 6-week session. The maximum number you can have is 6. And just like to talk a little bit more about that. Do you interview these people, or before they come, do you try and match up what you think or hope is going to be a good group of people that's all going to get along? Because unfortunately we don't always see things the same way.
That's true. And we do not do that. We know who our people are that are coming, you know,
Okay.
because once that we notify them that there's a place for them in the class, we do an application over the phone.
Okay.
So that we're sort of familiar with who they are, but you never know if people are going to mesh or they're not going to mesh. You know, that's the real value of having a core team of instructors, because we know they mesh, and they can make a lot of uncomfortable situations go away if they need to.
Yes.
We have a session going right now where we had just 3 individuals. It ended up the 4th and 5th left at the last moment, but these folks just meshed beautifully. You know, they're there to support each other, to encourage each other. It's just really nice to see, and we're hoping that we're going to have that kind of a session every time. Sometimes you don't have them, and other
No.
times you do.
No, it's, well, you never know who's going to walk through the doors, do you?
That's correct.
We haven't walked in their shoes, so we don't know what their backgrounds are or what they're like. Now, the paid staff that you have, do they have to have degrees in psychiatry or anything like that, or they've got to have personalities that can diffuse situations if they get out of hand?
Our staff is chosen pretty much because they're very, very people-oriented, very empathetic. Our program leader right now is a former Clark County school teacher, and she's doing a wonderful job in adjusting from children to adults. Our two coaches, our support staff are called coaches because they work pretty much one-on-one with the individuals. And we have two really, really good people that are, again, we went through an interview process and they came out as being really good candidates, and they've shown that to be the case. So we're very happy with our team right now. And we're looking forward to keeping them for a long time.
Yes. The hearts are in the right place, and that's what matters, right?
Right. Again, you know, ideally it would be blind people teaching blind people all the time, but that just doesn't happen. You know, unfortunately, there are not a lot of blind individuals right now that are interested in working with us. You know, they're either doing other jobs or not working.
Well, they're probably finding life tough enough as it is, coping.
It can
themselves,
be very tough.
You know, so without helping others.
But I must say that we do screen every class that goes through just to see if we have some potential folks.
Yes.
And sometimes they're too early in their vision loss journey to be ready to come and work with us, but we then keep an eye on them and keep them involved in the organization.
Yes. And now, if applicants want to apply, what's the method? Do they refer to you from the state, or do you advertise anywhere? Or how do they become aware and apply?
Okay, I'm sorry. They come from a lot of different places. A lot of it is word of mouth, and some come as referrals from the Department of Employment, Training and Rehabilitation. Some of them are referrals from other blindness organizations. But the way that we accept applications is by phoning in and going onto the waiting list. And our phone number is 702-631-9009. And we will take some basic information over the phone and then talk with the applicants about the program, and then keep in touch with them as their name moves up the waiting list.
Okay. So you mentioned DETR. They help you out quite a bit, do they?
They're one of our partners, yes. And so they are very helpful. They've been instrumental in getting the Betty's Village residential program up and going.
Good.
And we will continue that relationship. We also applied several years ago with Dieter to get a grant from the state to do special training, job training for blind and low vision individuals. So we have a career program that we started with that grant, and now we're continuing with it. And we serve clients of Dieter who want to go back to work. Mm-hmm. And that's, again, a 6-week program. 6 weeks, yes, 6-week program, and it meets 3 times a week for a total of 54 hours of job readiness training. And then the other thing that we do is we are a contractor with Dieter, so that we provide direct services on a fee-for-service basis. So we can do assessments of their clients for daily living skills and orientation and mobility, and then make recommendations, and then if they choose to, we can provide the direct service, we can provide the training.
Good. Now, do they also provide some of the funding, or where do you get your funding from? Do you get government grants or state grants?
We have had a few state grants, nothing right now, but most of our funding right now is the fee-for-service with Dieter. You know, they contract with us to do the training of people.
Okay. Gotcha.
And so that is our primary source of income right now. We do accept donations, of course, willingly,
Yes.
happily.
Any corporate donations? Do you
Not
get,
at this
or-
point,
No?
no.
Hopefully someone will be watching and you might get some.
That would be wonderful. It really would be, because it's tough to raise money in today's
Yes,
economy.
Yes.
And our 90-hour training, our Angelo's House training is our core program, and we do not charge for that at all. So that's something that the Blind
Yes.
Connect pays for totally.
Wow.
And that's our commitment to the blindness community, is to always have that program available. But it would help to sometimes to have a little bit extra money in the pot.
Of course. Yeah, I think most non-profits just coast by from one month to the next to pay the bills. Do you have many fundraisers throughout the year at all, or do you have any upcoming?
We have not had one for a couple of years because we sort of focused on a little bit different things. But one of the things that we've done in the past that we will probably redo again is an activity called Blind Date. And it's a dining in the dark experience where all the guests that come to the event wear learning shades as they eat their dinner. And we have a guide who helps them understand how to find their food. and particularly the one thing we love to do is have that one little cherry tomato on the salad that no one can find. It's really kind of fun, but we don't tell the folks that we just usually find it with our finger and pick it up. So we're looking forward to bringing that back. We had it for about 8 years, and then it stopped right before COVID. And we'd like to bring that back. And we also had quite a successful virtual walk during COVID. And we would like to try that again, except make it a real in-person walk.
Whoa.
It was called Walk Connected. And our idea behind it was to have a blind person walking with every group of walkers. But then we had to do it virtually, so that didn't happen. But that, I think, could happen again.
It'd be nice to bring it back. Yes, they sound two very worthwhile events to have. Jean, if people want to reach out to you, would you like to give us your website address so that people can go and check out Blind Connect? And also give us the phone number again. I know you gave it earlier, but if you'd like to repeat it so people know how to get in touch.
Absolutely. You can reach Blind Connect at www.blindconnect.org. And our phone number is 702-631-9009. And we'd love to hear from you. And we'd love for you to come to that website and just check us out and see what's going on. Lots.
Yeah. It sounds like lots going on. Jean, it's been an absolute pleasure having you on this program today. I thank you so much for taking time to be with us. And you're really doing the Lord's work out there. 25 years you've been morphing this organization and helping so many people out. You've changed so many lives, and thank you for doing what you're doing and continue to do.
Well, thank you.
Thank you for being with us. And I would like to thank the show's producer, John Stiles, and station owner, of course, for allowing me to host this program. And of course, no program would be, I wouldn't be able to do any of the programs without our sponsors. So I'd like to thank again Pacific Coast Capital, Lucia Capital Group, and the Firelight Barn, and my business partner for the last 25 years, RJ Champion. You'll hear his message right at the end of this program. I'd also like to thank, of course, you, the viewer, for tuning in and listening to this very important organization that we've had as our guest today. If you have any comments or questions, please feel free to reach out to me, Stephen at thegiftofgiving.vegas. And I hope you'll join us next week, where our guest will be dealing with foster care children. So hope you'll tune in then. In the meantime, please stay safe. Be kind to one another and have a good week. Bye for now.
Mr. R.J. Champion is proud to sponsor WWDB-TV's series, The Gift of Giving, and wishes the program much success. Congratulations and gratitude to the featured guests and the organizations they represent. Our community is well served by your tireless efforts to make Nevada a better state for all its residents.